What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Trading Live with Bubba. It is Thursday, March the 27th. Markets are kind of quiet, but at the end of the day, we'll see if something shows up here. Gold is exploding. We've had a market that was lower and now higher on the day and starting to run. Again, I'm still looking for that rip your face off rally that we've been talking about and looking for. Whether we get it, today or not. I mean, we had a nice rally early in the week, but then yesterday they were right back in the crap. In the meantime, as we look, you can see volumes are dripping off. So it makes it hard to want to be aggressive when there's no volume. And again, if you look at the futures themselves on a daily basis, you can see the lack of volume here. Every day we go lower in volume. And that's not a good situation, especially even when you look at a day like yesterday with the big down day. You had nowhere near the normal volume you have on a down day, which means that there's a lack of participation in the market, which makes it more challenging for what we want to do. It doesn't mean there won't be trades. And of course, the trades we put on Tuesday were working out great, especially AMD. But at the end of the day, again, you have to look and find opportunities that fit your style, fit what you want to do. And sometimes being active is not part of what we can do. We can't always be active as much as we'd like to. I mean, this even goes back to the trading floor days. When I was on the floor, there were days you couldn't be active. So we went up and played cards or went out and played golf. But you can always find something to do if you're looking for something and if you're patient enough to wait for it. Now, personally, I'm short gold from this blow off here. Okay. And at the end of the day, obviously you guys weren't with me. I did not take the euro currency. I missed it, but I would have taken the euro currency as well. But so now, maybe there's something coming here in crude oil, potentially. I can't say for sure, but it certainly will be a possibility that it will show up. But the indexes are very, very quiet. Okay. And these are the 8 busiest markets that we have as a rule. So again, it's something that we have to be watching and be ready for, and we'll see. Gold is getting a little bit of a sell-off. Maybe we'll get a buy here. Maybe we'll get a buy in euro currency. Crude is really just stuck in consolidation. It would have to break down, probably down to here is where I'd like to see it come down to before I'd want to buy it right now. I do believe that I said on my Monday night call that if it got to 70, I would sell it without even thinking about it. Well, it never got to 70. I had orders working, but we'll see, and maybe we'll get some action. It's been a while since we've had some real business together, but we've always found trades to make, and we're doing pretty well with the trades we make on a regular basis. So we'll wait here. I don't think there's anything here. Again, crude is not a trade. It's just really stuck in consolidation. Gold could be a potential, but again, I'm not looking to take any real risk here. Obviously there's always risk, but I'm not looking to do anything exciting. We look at Apple. Apple, as I said the other day, really needs to rally up to about 230 before I'd consider selling. Okay, it's really just hovering around the mean. Not a lot to do. Amazon, again, another one that needs to rally up to about 210. Before I'd be looking to do anything with it. Obviously, if it's broke down again, I'd be looking to buy it. But again, if you look at it, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Coin, we never got a chance to get in, and here we are hovering around the mean. And this is very common in the market that we're watching right now. Okay, that there's very little activity for us to even get involved in. Crowd. Again, here you are right at the position. It didn't get far enough for us to sell it. It's not low enough for us to buy it. Now, it is above its 200-day moving average, and that is a little bit more bullish than bearish. The Meta, nothing for us to do. Google, nothing for us to do. Again, this is pretty common, right? But you notice that Google's below the 200-day moving average. And again, just market theory. Used to be the bulls live above the 200-day moving average and the bears live below. So we'll see. IWM right at the mean, nothing to do. Microsoft, right at the mean, nothing to do. You're getting the picture here that there isn't much going on. Okay, MSTR up towards the top end. Again, this one I always warn you about. This one is much higher risk than others. Premiums are really high, and at the end of the day, we have to be cautious and careful about that, because again, you're giving up a little bit of an edge when you're trading with those kind of high premiums. Nugget, once again, we did sell it the other day. It did come right down, and here we're looking for again another little bit more of a rally and look to sell it. And I am definitely leaning to the short side on gold itself, and not because I'm against gold. I own gold. I like gold. I'm a believer in it, but it is extremely overbought. Okay, but it has been overbought. Remember, these markets can stay extended for longer than you think. Anyways, as we go back to NVIDIA, really nothing to do. Try to get down to an area that maybe we could have played, but really nothing. The Qs hovering around. Let's just go back here and make sure we're not missing anything. Not really. I mean, again, you can see that in every market, the volume is on the decline, which means that there's less of a chance for us. There's less activity for us. Remember, our whole business model is playing on the fear or the emotions of others. Okay, and that is something that you always have to remember, is that if there's no emotion to the market, if there's no irrational thought, then it makes it much harder for us to make money, because we are counting on traders themselves to be irrational. Okay, and again, so that's actually what creates the pattern that we're looking for, is either FOMO or fear. Okay, or greed or fear. We're not seeing much of any of that. So again, we'll come back to this. We're not going anywhere. SMCI, it did not break out. Remember, we talked the other day that if it broke to the upside, it would probably run. And of course, it did not. So now we're just seeing it back stuck in this range, and really not much to do. It's pretty close. If we got down to about 35, I would certainly sell put spreads here. Okay. If we got down to 35, I would certainly sell put spreads. I refuse to reach for anything in these conditions. If you're going to take excess risk, okay, in a market, you need to have the activity in the market that you know you're going to get more than one opportunity or more than one shot at it. You don't want to fire into a market that isn't giving you good opportunities. Okay. And we have very few opportunities, as you've seen. I mean, we've been lucky we're getting one trade a day. Okay. We had one on Tuesday. I'm not talking about the spreads we're selling, but I'm talking about just the active trading. So there's no reason for any of us to want to get overly involved in this market right now because of the lack of activity. Okay. It's very important that you always keep that in mind, that if there's only one trade in the entire day, it's probably not worth taking. Okay. And then Square or XYZ, nothing. Spiders, nothing. Tesla, this is getting close. If we get up to 300, I would be a seller. Okay. And again, I'm not trying to get short. I would be a call spread seller. Okay. And that would only be based on the move it just made from almost 200 to 300. Okay. But again, that's what we have to focus on. But for right now, I'm not there. I'm not there yet. And I'm going to, when you get conditions like this, your objective is to wait as long as you can so that trade really qualifies the way that you want to see it. Okay. And right now, again, we're back to the daily stuff, the short-term stuff. Crude doing nothing. NASDAQ selling off a little bit, but not giving us any real activity here to get involved with. Again, it's one of those lack of overall things for us to do. And again, maybe we'll get something. Maybe we'll get a big break here. I don't know. XBI, this is one that you could look at selling some put spreads. Let's take a look at it. So I might make a trade here. XBI. And for next Friday, for April 4th, the 85.84. 85, 84. I could sell that. I'm going to sell that for 43 cents, 85, 84. Okay. And I'll do it. I usually do 10 at a time for myself. Zoom, really nothing. Up at the top, we talked about selling the other day. We did not sell it. I said that I would wait, but this is certainly looking like it wants to go lower here. I'd look to sell call spreads. Let me just see what they are for next week. 79.80. A little skimpy on the premium. I'm going to go ahead and work an order in there for 40 cents. Okay. And see what happens. Again, as you can tell, I'm not overly anxious to do anything right now. Okay. I think that, again, the patience you have to learn in this business is as important as anything. Okay. And I don't think that again, you can look at the chart yourself. You're looking at them with me. Do you see anything that you should be doing right now? I think that any trade you'd be making right now would be purely based on your opinion and not based on actual fact and things that you should be doing. And I think that's something that's important to understand as well. Okay. That you have to, remember what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. Okay. And your job is to make money. Your job is not to be overly active in this market. Okay. Your job is to find the best opportunities for you to be able to make money. And I don't see much here. Again, we'll continue to watch it and see. Maybe, you're getting a little bit of volume in the S&P, but you're not getting any price movement. Okay. Crude has held in that consolidation. It looks like it wants to break to the upside. Now, I'm hoping it gets to 70 because I'm going to sell it at 70, but I'm willing to hold on to it. Okay. That's for me. That's not part of our day trading ritual. That's not part of what we do. But to me, 70 is a spot, and I will sell it. I have orders working at 70 because I do believe that will be somewhere near the peak. But again, from a day trading standpoint, nothing. I don't see much to do here. You maybe get a shot here at the notes that they pop up a little bit. But once again, you have to, remember, what you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. And obviously, we're trying to make money. That's what this is about. And the opportunities are very slight right now because there is not enough speed. There is not enough action to this market right now. And again, that's what we need. We want wild swinging markets. I always say this. I'm not sure if I've said it here before, but I would rather make 10 trades at a 70% probability than make one trade at 100%. Okay. Because at 1 at 100, I'm not going to make that much money. Whereas if I'm getting a lot of swings in the market, a lot of two-way price action, a lot of rips up and a lot of rips down, it's going to give me a much higher probability and a much greater opportunity to make more money. Okay. And that's one of the things we have to remember is the activity in the market that allows us to take chances, allows us to put positions on. And here, again, what do you see? I mean, for the last, 40 minutes, the Russell hasn't moved. The Dow hasn't moved. NASDAQ a little bit. The S&P not at all. So you're not getting a ton of movement. So how are you going to make money? Even if you could pick and be perfect and buy bottoms and sell tops, what are you going to make? 20 ticks? And again, nobody can do that because you have no reason to be trading like that. Okay. And that is, again, something that's important as a trader to understand. Okay. And you can look at some others. I mean, there's really nothing going on here. We'll go down a little bit farther on my list of stuff we haven't looked at before. But certainly, let's see here. JP Morgan, nothing to do here in the middle of nowhere. Planeteer was a sale the other day. We missed it. Okay. I would do anything with it now. I would wait. Upstart, nothing. ADI, nothing. So you can see that there's just very little to do. Okay. Netflix, nothing. Again, I wish there was more to do. DraftKings getting closer to a buy. But the bottom line is you have to be patient enough to wait for the markets to give you the opportunity. that you are waiting for based on your plan, based on what you're looking at, because that's what it always comes down to. Okay. It comes to your own self-control and your ability to not force yourself into bad trades and bad action. Okay. And right now, to me, this action is horrible. Okay. It does not mean that something won't show up in the next 5 minutes, but that's what we have to look at. And we cannot afford to try to force the action. Remember, every time you lose money, you're trying to get it back. Okay. So if you're putting yourself in bad positions to begin with, and now you're chasing dollars, it's usually not a very good ending when you chase dollars. Okay. You've got to be very detailed and have separate plans for all the trading that you do. Okay. Day trading has one plan. Okay. Short term, what we're doing is one plan. Looking to sell spreads or trade other stuff is another plan. And then there's different plans for all the different models you use. I do a lot of ratio spreading. Okay. That's a different plan. Okay. And that's something that you have to, be focused on as a trader. Okay. Is to be ready to trade anything based on what the market gives you and what the market tells you. So we're starting to see a little bit of selling right now, but yet the selling is very orderly. Okay. And you can see by the VIX is lower into the selling right now. So again, it's a very orderly market, or a market that has a lack of interest, one or the other. Okay. And in those cases, orderly markets don't do us any good, or markets that lack interest don't do us any good. And so whichever reason it is, it doesn't really matter right now. There's nothing for us to get overly involved in right here, other than the trades we put on, which was XBI and potentially in Zoom. Again, there's not a lot of activity here. We can't seem to get any panic in this market or any chase. So we have to continue to watch and wait. And this is where I would tell you, and I'm telling you what I'm going to do when this is over. Okay. I'm going to go. Why did I go back there? Did I do that? Oh, I lost my screen. There we go. When we're done here, I'll be done for the day. Now, obviously, I'm always keeping an eye on it somehow, but I won't be sitting in front of this computer after this is over because I don't see anything. Now, maybe we're going to get something here in the euro currency. You can start to see it move. And normally you can see the speed of the bars, right? How fast they're moving in either direction. And this looks like it's maybe trying to run a little bit. So we'll see. We'll be ready to go. Should that qualify? Now we've got still about a minute and a half. Now, unfortunately, that's going to coincide with the end of our show. But if it does come, I will watch and I'll stay a couple of minutes extra if it does qualify as a trade. I don't know if it's going to get there or not. My guess is no, but I'm certainly going to look at it for you and see if we can snake out a winner here before we go. But we will have had a good week either way. But again, you can see by the lack of activity that there's very little to get excited about. Okay. So the euro currency really doesn't have the volume or the oomph pushing it forward. You can see the volume. I need the volume to get up to about here. Now, I'm always more accepting of the euro currency because it's our lowest risk trade of all the trades we take. So I'm always willing to reach for that a little bit, should it be. Now, I'm not going to encourage you to do so, nor will we do it today, because I don't want to leave you in the lurch and not help you manage the trade should it go in. So what I will do now is just say, have a great weekend. Remember, I do the market 120 every day, and I'll see you back here next Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer.